Okay, so let's start with ceteris paribus. And ceteris paribus is a fancy Latin term which means all other things staying the same. It is so important that this process, like it is so important to this process because we want to establish cause and effect. When you test a stimulus hypothesis, you must hold everything else in that test constant. We already talked about in the last session that when you change a variable, rest of the variables need to be constant. You won't be changing them. Otherwise हमें कभी पता नहीं चलेगा कि which was the reason जिसकी वजह से हमें result मिले. That's why we only play around with one stimulus and rest of them are kept as constant. That includes everything from the other initial variables to the controllable environmental factors. For example, let's say you're trying to test new ad copy for your Facebook ads. You can run new ads, but in the process, you also add a new interest to the audience and change the headline of your funnel. Results gets worse, but now you don't know if it was due to the change in the copy or due to the change in the audience or the new funnel headline. What's worse, the change in the copy could have actually got you closer to the KPI, but the audience change held you back. Or the new funnel headline could have been the next best thing for you, but it did not resonate with the new audience that you selected. तो इस वजह से कई बार ऐसा होता है कि चीज़ें काफ़ी अच्छी जाने वाली होती हैं बट स्टिल they get stopped because we change a lot of things and we don't keep the constants at the place where they should be. It's impossible to make good decisions for your client acquisition system when iterating more than one variable. This is because good decisions come from good data and good data comes from a scientific method. If you iterate more than one variable, the data is fucked and not truly objectively representative of the variable you wanted to test. So that's why you will have to start over once again. This is because our objective when running experiments is to establish the cause and effect relationship between our stimulus, key variables, and the fitness level of the overall stimulus. Now we are going to talk about the cause and effect. Cause and effect. This is when something causes something to happen. For example, the cause could be going out in the sun and the effect could be getting a sunburn. Cause could be watching Netflix till 4 a.m. The effect could be being tired at work. Cause could be eating salad for lunch. Effect could be feeling pretty good about yourself. Cause could be taking my advice on how to cook a lasagna, and effect could be a true kitchen nightmare. Something like that, right? Or in the case of client acquisition, the cause could be stimulus genotype exposed to a human in our niche with the right latent condition. Effect would be an action from the human converting them to the next stage in our client acquisition system. So the whole point of this is to establish cause and effect between stimulus and the action. A stimulus is the cause and action it elicits is an effect. तो जो हमारा स्टिमुलस होता है वो एक कॉज होता है एंड उसकी वजह से सामने वाला इंसान जो एक्शन करता है दैट इज द इफेक्ट. If we know what stimulus causes the effect of an action, client acquisition becomes very, very easy for us. Understanding it is intelligence. So जो पूरा यूनिवर्स है it works on cause and effect. Wielding it is power. Ceteris paribus allows us to have this intelligence and wield this power, which is pretty cool. Now we are going to talk about common descendant stimuli. At the start of this video, I explained common descendant and descent with modification. Right? So common descent is a concept in evolutionary biology. It states that all species of organisms originated from a common ancestor. Basically, all living things from redwood trees, ants, and the weird neighbor that we have, all of them descended from the common ancestor. Descent with modification means parents have children, but their children will be slightly different from their parents. I am different from my parents, they are different from their parents, you are different from your parents, they are different from their parents. Every generation of offspring is slightly different from its descendants. With thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of generations, one species can give rise to a new species sharing a common ancestor. Your version 1 stimulus is the common ancestor shared by all of the future generations, provided the original genotype has heritable traits that indicate some level of fitness. इसका मतलब है हमारा जो वर्जन 1 स्टिमुलाई होता है दैट इज़ अ कॉमन इंडिकेटर बट ओनली जब उसमें कुछ हेरिटेबल ट्रेट्स होते हैं एंड ऐसा नहीं होता कि वो पूरी तरह से ही बेकार है. Now we are going to talk about Darwinian stimuli. Natural selection is a theory proposed by Charles Darwin. It explains how all living organisms have evolved over generation and with time. It is a very simple idea. Organisms with traits are better adapted to the condition of their environment, and that's why they are more likely to survive and produce offsprings, and producing offsprings with the same heritable characteristics which enable them to survive. Every new version of your stimulus is a new generation. Over time, with plenty of generations and plenty of changes, it will evolve into the most adaptive वर्जन इमेजिनेबल. तो आपके जो स्टिमुलाई में चेंजेस आते जाएंगे, स्टिमुलाई वर्जन 1, स्टिमुलाई वर्जन 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with time you will reach to a point where it would have evolved in the most adapted version imaginable. जैसे we humans got turned into this from apes, right? So there were so many changes जिससे बन के now we are humans. Now we are going to talk about random mutated variation. Variation is the key to evolutionary success. It is the random mutation of genes that has brought about humans, owls, willow trees, and all other successful species we know today. This program will give you the variables you need to succeed. But I implore you to introduce your own calculated and random variations. There are countless of combinations of variables that we can combine as a DNA string to test to see if our stimulus has fitness. There is no end to variation. You can apply almost anything to client acquisition to see if it works. My best ever system have not been copied and pasted. They are results of relentless iterations of random variables. You know, on game shows like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or Kaun Banega Crorepati, where you get to phone a friend, right? When it comes to client acquisition, that friend is randomness. If you are ever stuck in a corner, when it comes to building a client acquisition system, try randomness. I'm not even joking. Turn to a random page of a random book, pick a random line and see how you can apply that to your stimuli or learn from the nature. And that's how you improve and that's how you create your own client acquisition systems. Now we are going to talk about the Petri dish tests. So once you have a system that has fitness, it will function properly and produce results. Now if you want to improve it, don't touch it. लेट्स से हमने एक सिस्टम टेस्ट किया एंड नाउ वी आर एट अ पॉइंट जहाँ पे वो हमें काफ़ी अच्छा KPI दे रहा है एंड लेट्स से हम इसको और ज़्यादा इंप्रूव करना चाहते हैं. इन दैट केस वी डू नॉट टच द ओरिजिनल सिस्टम. Duplicate all the variables, duplicate all the constants and replicate the system into the same environment and then begin the scientific process again on the replica when running the main system. तो आपका जो मेन सिस्टम है उसको साइड में रखिए, लेट इट रन, डोंट एवर टच इट अगेन जब तक उसमें कुछ दिक्कत नहीं आती एंड डुप्लीकेट द होल सिस्टम एंड उसमें आप कुछ चेंजेस कर सकते हैं. थिंक इफ अ साइंटिस्ट फाउंड द क्योर फॉर कैंसर and it worked over for a 12-month period, they would not just suddenly change all the variables, losing the integrity of the experiment to try and get it to work in 6 months, right? They might run the 6-month cure and फिर वो एक अलग cure पे 6 months के test करेंगे. They won't touch the 12-month cure because like just to make it better, क्या पता वो 12-month वाली cure को भी खो दे. So that's why it's very important कि you keep your main system aside and you make a duplicate and run the tests on it. Now we are going to talk about the initial conditions. The closer your V1 genotype is to having fitness from the get-go, the better your results will be in the long term. This is because of something called the law of sensitive dependence on initial conditions or the butterfly effect. It took me 3 to 4 years of iteration to get consistent results. I was basically blind at the start. If I had better initial conditions, I could have gotten there faster. This is why a strong understanding of your niche will be extremely important and helpful when you start designing your stimuli. If you know what makes them tick, what's more likely to get them action, you can bias your initial hypothesis in this direction and massively speed up the process of predictable client acquisition. Right? तो आपको तुक्का नहीं मारना पड़ेगा and basically you will have a general idea कि आपके niche को क्या सुनना पसंद है and based on that you can create your initial hypothesis. Complex systems are extremely sensitive and they are extremely sensitive to initial conditions. Tiny changes in parts of a system can have a huge impact on its outcome over time and with scale. As above, the law of sensitive dependence on the initial condition is best explained by visualizing ships across the sea. तो इस तरह से शिप्स यहाँ से यहाँ भी जाती हैं, यहाँ से यहाँ भी जाती हैं, बेसिकली फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन, राइट. लेट्स से 2 ships set sail from south of Argentina aiming from Australia. However, their initial direction differs by 1 degree. which is not even 0.5% of 360 degrees, right? तो अगर दो शिप्स जाती हैं, दोनों शिप्स एक ही जगह से शुरू कर रही हैं, लेकिन उनका जो एंगल है वो सिर्फ 1% के डिफरेंस पे है, विल दिस टाइनी डिफरेंस विल मेक अ बिग डिफरेंस ओवर डिस्टेंस, राइट? जैसे जैसे हम आगे आगे जाते जाएंगे, एक जो शिप है वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया के इस कोने पे पहुंचेगी, जबकि दूसरी शिप शायद किसी और आइलैंड पे पहुंच जाए. So this tiny difference, it makes a big difference over distance, and in systems it is time. The ship 1 जो है it lands here, while ship 2 it lands here, right? So that's a 2850 kilometers difference, and this is like a 50 hours drive, all because of a tiny difference in the initial condition. Another degree and ship 2 would have ended back in South Argentina. ठीक है, 1 डिग्री का और अंतर आता तो ये वापस यहाँ से घूम के दोबारा इसी जगह पे आ जाती. That's the thing. Understanding your niche 5% better than the average business owner in your market might not seem like a big deal, but if you stick to that niche, it's a distinguishing advantage to have. It's like very, very important. थोड़े से time पे ही you will have so much advantage if you just stick to one particular niche. Small change equals big difference when time is applied. The more time, the bigger the difference. Now, advanced genetic ideology. We can use advanced principles from genetics to get more clients. Stimulus splicing. Once we have a DNA string that produces fitness, we can create iterations that are even better than the original descendant, regardless of whether they are a part of the same system. Splicing. It is a scientific term for genetic manipulation. It's where you take a gene variant of DNA, ideally one that produces a desirable trait than the existing strand, and then you insert it into the genetic code of an organism in question. This is self-explanatory. If you have a cold message with key variables that are producing fitness well within the KPI, you can take the traits from those variables and the key variables themselves and then splice the genes into genotypes of another stimuli in the system or other systems as well. तो इसका मतलब है, लेट्स से कोई स्क्रिप्ट या कोई चीज़ कोल्ड कॉलिंग में काम कर रही है, यू कैन ऑल्सो यूज दैट, यू कैन टेक सम पार्ट्स ऑफ इट एंड यू कैन आइदर अप्लाई इट इन द different stimuli on the same system, or you can apply it to a different system altogether. I learned early on that my niche responds well to transparency from YouTube. So I spliced that trait into the genotype of lots of other stimuli in my client acquisition systems. Right. So that is one thing कि मेरी जो niche है it responds well to transparency, and basically using that मैंने इसको इस same transparency वाली चीज़ को काफ़ी जगहों पे apply किया in my client acquisition systems. Now cross system pollination. Cross pollination occurs in nature when one plant pollinates a plant of another variety. When this happens, the DNA of both plants combine to create a new variety of plant. If you have two different stimuli genotypes working on two different systems, you can effectively breed them by cross-pollinating their DNA together to produce a new, potentially more powerful variant. Network effect conjugation. Scientists that study bacteria understand a principle called conjugation. This is where bacteria in an environment are able to share DNA that has fitness in each other. Bacteria carry their DNA in plasmid, a circular ring containing their genetic material, so the genotype. तो इस तरह से plasmid होता है जिसके अंदर basically they have the genotype. A donor, it is a bacteria with genotype that produces fitness, can connect with a recipient which is the one which is lacking the genes to produce fitness. So this one is the one which is lacking, and this one is the one which has the DNA, right? This one has the fitness part in this. So this is the donor and this is the recipient. Once connected, the donor cell unravels the plasmid, transferring a portion of its genotype containing the gene that produces fitness into the recipient cell. तो इस तरह से ये दोनों connect हो जाते हैं, and basically now they can cross pollinate, and इस तरह से this new one also has this plasmid and this old one also has this plasmid, and both of them now have fitness. This is a simplified model of how this actually works. As a community of organisms or business in an environment or the market, we can leverage DNA conjugation to create a network effect. Now, the network effect is phenomenon where a system gains additional value as more people use it. If you use the scientific method to discover your own variable stimuli and systems, you will find new, unique, and original combination of variables that produce fitness across multiple stimuli. This is powerful, but what's more powerful then one scientist running one test is 100 scientists running 100 tests, and all the scientists telling each other about their results and about what variable combinations are winning. Doing so will encourage other people to share their winning experiments, and with enough contribution sharing, we will basically reach a critical mass where we have a self sustaining flow of shared experiments and winning stimuli. You might think it's within your best interest to keep your cards close to your chest and you should never share what is working for you. But when you share something that works, someone else will share what's working for them. And that way we can all come together to share what wins. And that's how freedom formula can become a hive mind. So there is one thing which I would recommend you, and I implore you to share your experiments, especially the winning ones, with the community. So share it with us. This document took me like 2 weeks to complete, and I hope you can return me the favor by sharing your winning experiments with me so that I can share them with other people. Doing so allows us to birth a new epoch and accomplish Freedom Acquisition's mission, which is to make client acquisition easy. And there was this guy Sebastian, and we basically, like, I learned this from him. He was the person who told me how important a community could be. He was a person who actually taught me a lot of things. I met him on Discord, and he was a very very big reason why I got to learn all of these things. It's easier, faster, and much more fun with friends. So that's why it's very very important that you share things. अगर आपके लिए कल कोई चीज़ काम करती है and you share that with us, we will be able to share it with more people, and in that case they will share more things with us which we can share with you, and that's how you will know much and more and better, right? So that's the thing. That was it for this particular lesson. This one is complete, and we'll just talk about psychology in the next one, and uske baad we have standard operating procedures, and that would be it for acquisition commencement.